Thanks everybody for joining. Um, let's see. First things first, I wanted to see if we could get someone to move to approve minutes from the March 24th meeting. If anybody was here for that. I wasn't. I was.
Oh, Courtney, I think we both are the only two,
Are we the
so
only two? Okay, I thought it was it March
Who
24th?
wants to move? Mari, how about you move?
I'll
And
move to approve them. Yes. Go
and then
ahead.
You
Courtney,
second. I second.
second. All in favor? Very good. Thank you. I'm still trying to pull up the participants. You said Kendra's on there somewhere. I can never find people, but is
Yeah,
Kendra
I
on?
think she's on. I
Okay.
think she's on as an attendee. So,
Okay. Oh, there we go.
yep. Thanks for joining, everyone.
Gotcha. All right. We wanted to, Janet, you have to drop out early. So
Yeah.
did you
I
want
mean,
to
if
just
you're
give us
going to
a
be
quick
2 hours,
update?
We haven't had a 2-hour meeting in years, I hope.
Yeah.
I saw that it was possible today, but anyway, I think I don't know if you had a look at Dean's message that he sent at the last minute about recent activities from conservation that he was particularly involved with, and one of them was taking a table at the farmers market on the 28th of last month.
Mhm.
And I mean, I was quite impressed because they did a um, treasure hunt, and they had 50
Oh,
kids,
oh,
50 kids
wow.
and parents, 40 kids, 40 plus kids running around identifying trees with a little handout. And they also did a raffle of two gorgeous mountain laurels for people who signed up to do that for free. You didn't have to pay any money for this raffle, and they were totally thrilled, of course, because they were gorgeous. Tim Coughlin managed to find them, absolutely stunning. I decided I wouldn't put in for them because let other people have the joy.
Oh,
And the other thing that has been approved is an event on November 22nd. Dimitri has approved this. He's appointed one of his staff to work with conservation on removing invasives. And Dimitri will identify which areas he wants to have this team work on. However, what the we Dean has been working to try and get volunteers for this. And because he had a sign up sheet at the farmer's market, I don't remember how many people signed up, but a good two handfuls of people signed up to participate in this. Whether they'll all be able to show up, I don't know, but it was a quick and easy way to get people excited. And I don't know when the last time you guys were at the farmer's market, but it was very successful in terms of at least highlighting that conservation is there, which I think, we haven't done for quite a while, and to get so many people involved. And we know that the farmers market is not a huge event, but it certainly drew enough people out. So I'm sharing those ideas for what that's worth. And, I thought I was really impressed. The other question that Dean had was for April. Is April here? No.
no.
Okay. Do we know if there's going to be another pollinator pathway sale in the fall or the spring for plants? You remember we did the native plants
Yes.
sale? Yeah,
Last fall, right around this time last year, right, Janet? Was the
something like
pickup, if I remember.
right. We
I have
know.
not heard anything about it. I know April and Pam, felt it was a large undertaking, and so I'm not sure that they had the bandwidth to offer for this fall, as far as I understood, but they might be collaborating on it, and I'm just not in the loop. So I think it's good it was brought up to find out the status.
Okay.
And maybe with such robust amounts of volunteers for conservation, perhaps somebody else wants to get involved that we don't know about yet.
Right.
Um, that would
Right.
be great.
Yeah.
Because
So
it's already funded, is that correct? The funding's
Um,
already been donated,
I
right?
don't know. The money is still with Pollinator Pathways, and I know that
Okay.
conservation has their eye on it too. So I don't,
Okay.
as far as I understand, it hasn't been tapped to the
Okay.
bottom. So, if they're interested, it's worth, maybe speaking to Donna Merrill at Pollinator Pathways, see what's going on, talking with the folks at conservation to work out, how that whatever is remaining is going to be used. It's
Right.
a good collaboration to figure that out if they're interested.
I wonder, was there did you say there was a sign up sheet of the people that participated in the farmers market of treasure hunt and whatnot? Because I feel like it's always
That I
nice to
don't know.
cross-reference volunteers.
Yeah,
I did a table twice, just so you know. I don't even think it was on the update, but I tabled in June and August, and it was more informational than interactive, although I did have like the little sorting compartments for different recyclables, but I don't think it's as glamorous as tree identification, apparently. I don't know.
yeah,
So
I
I
think
didn't get quite as many at the table at all. So
yeah, I think involving kids and
yeah,
raffling something for free
yeah,
appeals to people. So
yeah,
just bear it in mind. Bear it in mind.
right.
And so, what was your question now? I've
If we
lost.
could utilize the volunteer list to
Oh,
reach back out if we need volunteers for other things in town, maybe sustainable things, of course.
yeah. I mean, there's the list of people signing up for the invasive removal, and
Okay,
that Dean has that list.
okay,
Whether it's shareable, I don't know, but hopefully,
right,
we're going to see them on the 22nd of November. So
right,
it's
right.
reaching out to him, and he said, please let me know, what you'd like me to do because he can't be here this
Yeah,
afternoon.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if maybe like we wanted to send that list of volunteers the upcoming cleanup, which is this Saturday. Maybe they would the kids would be interested in participating, that kind of thing.
Yeah, you'd have to check with Dean because he was there
Yep.
the whole time, and he knows who they are and how
Yes.
to manage with, bearing in mind people's privacy.
Yeah. Okay. I'll check with them. I'll put that on my to-do list. Okay.
Awesome. Wonderful.
Yeah. Great info. Thank you, Janet.
Okay. You guys are wonderful. I'm impressed. So impressed.
Few but mighty
Thanks, Janet.
today, right? Thanks.
Okay.
Good. Is that it, Janet? Is that everything you wanted to get covered?
Yep. Thanks.
All right. So, I don't know if everyone here knows, but Mari is now the recycling coordinator for the town of Trumbull. Okay.
Yay.
Um,
Thanks,
so
guys.
in that position, I'm sure you're always learning new things now and looking for perhaps volunteers for different activities or looking for input. So I wanted to just kind of kick it over to you for
Sure.
your wherever you want to take
Yeah.
you pretty much you've got the agenda in front of you. So
Yeah, I tried to
however you want to talk about this, however you want
I
to take it.
tried to be prepared. I guess along that line, thank you everybody, the ones here or anybody listening, for all the support. It's really been a really easy transition because it's kind of continuing a lot of the projects I've um, us as a group have been interested in exploring as well as taking on others that I didn't know existed, such as some of the, kind of mandatory or state mandated stewardship programs for like tires and cylinders and things at the transfer station. So it's a little blend of continuing to do what we've been doing and finding new things to do. So but yeah, I will definitely look to continue to be the town liaison between the Sustainable Trumbull Group. And as I, mentioned in an email, I'm going to be meeting with Vicki and George and Cindy, who's obviously not here today, to see if we can better configure the Sustainable Group to make it maybe a little bit more robust, a little less committal and high pressure for people to sign up. And we can maybe get some different groups going. I don't know that we need maybe a conservation focus group based on what Janet just reported, it sounds like conservation is pretty active right now. Maybe we can just kind of defer to them to take on different projects that are more conservation focused instead of trying to do everything, since we are a small group. And maybe we can kind of focus on some of the bigger initiatives that require volunteers, such as the school food waste initiative, which that's on my agenda to report on, Courtney. And I know that might involve you if you're still interested.
Sure.
So yeah, unfortunately, Kevin, thank you for giving me the resolutions. I guess there was a third one since then that
Yeah, there was, and I
further
couldn't find it.
reconfigured, but I'll have to sit down with Vicky, probably later in the month, hopefully, and see what kind of thoughts. But does anybody feel slighted if there was the lack of that official, like, appointed position, or would you feel comfortable, like, Courtney, you could be the head of events or subgroup, or you could be the head of the school initiatives with April or something. And then if we have other parents that say, oh, I want to hear what's going on with that,
Sure.
So we can kind of brainstorm. I don't know that we have to do it today during the meeting on what maybe couple of groups might be make sense moving forward, and that can kind of maybe evolve as we get a little more direction from some of the meetings I'm having
That
of
sounds
what
great.
things can move forward.
Mhm.
And actually tonight I'm joining the Fairfields Solid Waste Recycling Commission. So they are an official commission. They have like a million groups, right? They have Sustainable Fairfield. They have, I guess they're the only solid waste recycling commission in the state. So I'm thrilled to be invited to hear what they have going on. But I have a feeling it's something kind of similar. It seems like they have like a food waste group, and so maybe we can kind of like take their ideas, maybe being a little less official, but kind of, do what makes sense with our,
Yeah.
town, because we just don't have the volunteer base, I think, that they draw for
Mhm.
everything.
That's
So,
true.
so I can report back on that. So yeah, with that said, I mean, we're always talking about how to get these new people in, but I think it's best if we maybe have a few headings under which we're looking to recruit people. Let's say we want people that are active and have time to put into their children's elementary schools, or any elementary school if they're maybe not a parent anymore. And we then have a specific projects under that group that they're signing up. Because I think people like to help out with specific tasks at times, not always being like a leader and a planner. And
Right.
so maybe we should go in that direction a little. So yeah, that's all I have on the structure of the group to report today.
Yeah, my
Um,
feeling on it was that it always seemed limiting to me the way the thing was originally set up, or even when they modified the resolution that it said somebody from conservation, somebody from nature, somebody from town council.
right.
But we don't know if anybody from town council is going to be there. We don't know if anybody from anywhere is necessarily going to be in
Yeah.
the group. So, I mean, the more flexibility we have on that, the better, as far as I'm concerned. And the whole reason
Right.
for having that was to get certified, sustainable CT certification. Back then, it made
Yes.
sense. You should definitely have somebody from town council, but if we're not doing that anymore, we don't, it changes the whole reason for our existence, and therefore whoever wants to be in the group should just, can be in the group. And
Right. And
even
then
if I
also
don't even
now
know if you need to
having
be a
my,
member, right? Who needs do
right.
you
Yeah, you could.
do we need to be a member of the group? I don't know. So
Right.
that's
I
something
mean,
to kick
it's
around
nice
with
if
Vicky.
you, yeah, it's nice if you guys who are more active and invested to maybe take the lead on a group, a topic, let's say. But just so there is some leadership and it's not just people coming and going and being unreliable. That's what's, the concern. But yeah, I feel like now that there's a town position, employee overseeing the group, I don't think it's as imperative to have a town council representative because, that really kind of gave us a connection to town finances and everything else, which I'll be able to provide. So,
By the
um,
way, how long is your term, Marty? Did you
uh,
establish
I,
that?
I don't know.
It's
What's that called when
Definitely.
employment at will, I
oh
guess.
yeah, yeah. I don't know.
I hope it doesn't end in November. So
Right.
anyway, fingers crossed. I'm just trying to be really productive so that my value is seen in my 12 to 15 hours a week. So uh, it's a crunch. So yeah, so all right, I was just going to kind of report in case anybody listens back to the recording as well on just some of the updates since we only meet a few times a week. I think it's always helpful to for the community to be aware of some of the quantities of what we've been doing as a group, I think. So I just, under recycling drive updates, while I don't have a lot of anything overly new, other than November, we're going to add a mattress collection, a pop-up mattress collection to the recycling drive. So I think it's November 8th, Saturday, November 8th. And
At
this month
high school?
yes,
Yeah.
same time, 9 to 12. We're going to get some signage out and signage over to the transfer station so people pulling in will be aware. I have to put that on my to-do list. Collection signage. Even though it's lots of work going on over there, they still have room for some signage upon the entrance when you drive in. So that will be helpful. Last time we didn't give a lot of advance notice of the collection. It wasn't as successful back in the spring. So and then the goal is to long-term, once the transfer station configuration is done, we will have the mattress container there longer term, ideally. That's all still getting worked out. What updates and additions can be added to the transfer station. So,
And is that
but yeah.
sorry. Is that mattresses, box springs, everything? Okay.
Yes.
Right, perfect.
Yeah. So that's one of those EPR things where the mattress producers have to pay for the mattresses to responsibly get recycled. So when you buy a mattress and it's picked up, that's part of your cost of, or however it gets paid for. It's when it gets picked up, it has to get recycled. But
okay.
You as a homeowner, if you decide to just get rid of your mattress or you're moving or one's got wet or whatever, it would wet ones actually couldn't be recycled, but if it's in good condition and dry and clean, it should go somewhere to get recycled. And your option now is to drive it down to the facility in Bridgeport or put it at the transfer station in the trash. So not a great option for recycling. Okay, so for recycling drive, I just kind of wanted to go through. We have increased our collection so much, so I had to go through and from a budgeting perspective of the boxes we're buying for TerraCycle, and we are year to date at 300 pounds of items collected of all these small little things we collect at recycling drive. So that's our beauty care products, pens and markers, chip bags, razors, deodorants, phone cases, just to name a few. That does not include the printer ink, the black plastic to-go containers, or plastic film, or textiles, which we all collect all of those at Recycling Drive. These are just the smaller items. So we are through August, we're at 300 pounds year to date. Last year total, we did 263 pounds. So we're setting to well exceed that. With that has come the need for more of the paid collection boxes to handle the volume of what we're collecting. So we're just gonna keep plugging along and analyze it and discuss budget from the town's perspective. Same with textiles. I'm sorry, I'm looking at my other computer because I have all the data pulled up over there. Textiles, we are up. We're projecting to do 26,000 pounds by the end of 2025. In the last
total
from the two schools, the collection bins at Hillcrest and Madison.
Since the beginning? Or is that this
Nope,
year?
that would be we're projecting for 2025. Alone. So
wow,
each year,
how much was it? 20?
We're projecting to do 26,000 pounds. Yeah.
Wow.
So the last 3 years, we averaged right around 19 to 20,000 pounds each year. And we get paid by the ton. So we got about just under $1,200 a year for the last couple of years. So we're looking to get about $1,500 this year. So on the rise.
Okay.
And it's Yeah, and it's funny, we collect more at Madison in the one bin than we do at Hillcrest, which has two bins. So
Hmm.
I think we're gonna probably look to add another bin there if we can. It's on my to-do list. So, um, printer ink, that's another thing where we track, and not huge numbers here by any means. Last year we collected and made a little over $200, $208 on those, just the little cartridges, not the big toners. And this year we're projecting to do $238. So we get a lot of those toners, which can actually go in the electronic recycling at the transfer station, but we bring them to Staples and we get you can only bring 10 a month, but we get the money for the ones that are of value up to the 10 a month that we bring. And it allows us to buy things we need for our group, like packing tape for the rest of the recycling drive I've bought two easels to put display boards at the farmer's market. Those pretty much, that's it. So
Right.
good stuff. Um, Trying to think, anything else on recycling drive? I think that's it. I'm plugging along. We might look to do the pumpkin composting at the November drive as well. I'll have to find out if the high school will allow us to bring that container again. Especially if the mattress is there. It might be a little too many things for one drive, but I'll find out. And anything else I'm forgetting on recycling drive? Kendra, if you're on and you want to unmute, do you think of anything? Um, Otherwise, that's it. All right, so maybe we'll move on. Anyone have questions?
Well, I do, but I'll get back to you later because
Oh,
I can't type as fast as you
oh,
talk. So
I can send you numbers, of
yeah,
course,
just send me.
Kevin.
I
Sure.
was like
Yeah, yeah.
getting lost with the
Yeah.
printer ink and everything. So
Um, so there's been conversation, some of you are probably aware about the legislation that was passed regarding food waste in schools. And the parameters are that if a school building is located within 20 miles of a digester facility and generates 26 tons of food waste a year, it is required by law to dispose of or recycle organics. Well, the state went through, Connecticut Deep went through and basically did a calculation or estimate for every school in the state, and they only triggered 20 schools, and none of the Trumbull schools were triggered, including the high school. So by law, at this point, we are not required to comply with anything. But I was able to meet with Chris from Food Services and George, and we are going to address, and brainstorm and look at ways that we can reduce food waste in the school system, because the legislation might change. It might reduce the quantity, and all of a sudden you then have to implement something, but also because it's the right thing to do to reduce food waste.
but didn't was it Blue Earth or somebody that did like a pilot at the high school? Blue Earth
Yes,
composting? How did
yes.
that
So it's still going on as far as I understand.
Okay.
That's what I've been
Okay.
told. It was a
All right.
three semester grant, and this would be the fourth semester. So I have not connected with the teacher that's in charge of that, Will Hayer.
Is that
Maybe
Will?
you
Yeah, okay.
have. Yeah.
Not on
I
that
haven't.
particular item, but I got to reach out to him at some point for
Oh,
my other stuff. So
oh,
I'll
okay.
ask
Well, if
him.
you want to put a bug in his ear,
Yeah.
I think I need to follow up on that. But yeah, so that's great, but it's not because it's required, and it's not, I don't believe it covers the entire school. It's the senior lounge, as far as I know.
Yeah,
But
I forget what it was, but it was somewhat limited. Yeah.
the end of the school year last year, the high school had surplus food before the school was closing for summer break, and they were able to donate that to a local
Good.
food pantry. So
Good.
things like that, on an occasion, at least the school district is aware of options to donate food and things like that. So that's great. And Daniels Farm School was able to get approval to pilot the food rescue program. So they collected food that students took on as part of their breakfast program, and were able to leave it in a collection bin if it was non-perishable, or in a refrigerator in the cafeteria for perishable items like milks, yogurts, cheeses, things like that. And they donated, I'm going to read the numbers, they did 10 donations. So they collected over a few day to a week period, starting in March. They did a 10-week pilot. They did 12 rescues, meaning 12 times did they have enough food to go drop off at the Trumbull Food Pantry. And they donated an estimate of 120 pounds of food. They are continuing that this year at Daniel's Farm, again, just for breakfast, due to the time required to oversee the students getting familiar with what to do with the food, where to put it, and transporting it, which they're doing in-house with parent volunteers. And they're not expanding to lunch. So we're talking about how to expand this to other schools. So we've been talking about this a while. And it's the decision of the principals at the elementary schools and the Board of Ed that it needs to be volunteer run. So it cannot be a staffed employee overseeing it. So that's the next step, is to reach out to the principals at the schools and find out, is there anybody in their school, a PTA member, anybody that is willing to oversee it, and get it going from there.
Does that food end up going to the Trumbull Food Pantry? Is that where it went?
It does, yes.
Okay.
So Courtney, we've talked, since you work in the school and are willing to take that time during your lunch shift, or you've expressed that in the past, that's a great area. I'm not sure how to best address that, because I don't want to have you, reach out to your principal again and then do something that's not approved by the Board of Ed or whatnot. So I sent a follow-up email to Chris after our meeting, and I'm waiting to hear back for kind of the next steps, but I would expect to hear from me soon, I hope, on if you think there's, opportunities to move it forward.
Sure.
Within the guidelines of what's permitted. So, Food Rescue as an organization, they will provide the volunteers to come pick up the food at the school. Again, if the schools permit that. I think it's more the in-house overseeing. And, there's been conversation and direction from Food Rescue to have students do that themselves, like have fifth grade food waste warriors, they call them. And they are trained to kind of stand during the last few minutes of lunch to say, everybody, this is where you put this, or however they're, however they think. Every school might kind of adapt it a little bit differently, I would imagine. But I think I can certainly be the liaison between everybody. And I think whoever at each school wants to kind of take the lead can look to implement it individually how they see fit the best, right? We can provide support. Like Food Rescue has put together a thing on what the roles would be of the food waste warrior, and there's signage that's been created by Daniel's Farm for the pilot. And Ellen and I worked on some materials. So there's plenty of people, I think, willing to support it. It's just boots on the ground in the schools overseeing it. I think it seems like it might be the challenge. So,
and I also think trying to emulate what Daniel's Farm is doing would be great, and knowing that they've done this and if it's worked out, and here's what they're doing, that sort of having them knowing that they are the model, I think probably encourages the other schools to probably get on board if possible.
Well, I mean, I don't think it would hurt if since you have already talked to your principal about it, if you want to just ask, because there was a meeting with all the elementary principals last June, and June 7th, I think. And supposedly the principal from Daniel's Farm, who was actually really like in the cafeteria helping during the breakfast to make sure it was going smoothly. He was really in favor of it and said he was going to discuss it at that principal's meeting. So, I mean, maybe it can come from the inside out. And then if your school is interested, we can go to the Board of Ed and say, we're interested and this is how we'd like to move it forward. I don't have a problem with that if you think that would be effective. So.
Okay. Sure.
It'd be,
I
who,
feel like-
was there a one or two parents or something? Who were the adults at Daniel's
Yes.
Farm? Could they go and present to, I don't know, PT A or PTSA or whatever it's called, and say, hey, this is what I did and it worked great. We need other people to do it, and I can answer all your questions and that kind of thing. Is
Yes,
that
that would be
possible?
great. Exactly. That would be ideal. Good
I'm too
idea.
far away from it to be able to help, but that's
I
just my
know, I don't
thought.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Because if it was a success, I think that that person would be the best person, and the principal would be great too, if the two of them maybe.
Yeah, I think April's still on that group. I think she still has a title on the PTSA for
Okay.
sustainability or something. So I'll see if she can get a time slot. That would be great.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else on that? Big Belly we have on the agenda. The update I have is the pilot containers are arriving hopefully the middle to end of September. There was a little delay on them.
Right. And those are going to be put at Tate Road
Yes,
entrance?
that's my understanding. Yep. So, all right, that's I think all I have on recycling, other than maybe avenues to get some of this information out. I don't know if everybody saw on social media. I was able to tour the recycling facility up in Shelton, and it was very cool. Lots of good information and tips on recycling. I think the big takeaway I got was like everything doesn't have to be squeaky clean, dried, ready to eat off of. It needs to be empty and rinsed. Like they don't want a to-go container with your leftovers still in it. But if there's like a little residue, you're okay. Same with like your tuna cans. I was like, oh, I can't get every little bit out. I'm going to throw it in the garbage. Because I didn't want to wish cycle and contaminate the rest of it. But they're like, nah, it's all like, broken down and cleaned. And it's more keeping the things that aren't accepted out of there, like blatantly obvious things.
Right.
So that was
Do they
pretty
have,
cool.
I went to a recycling facility years ago, and they
Oh,
had
yeah.
like a washing. The first thing it did, everything went into a big vat and just kind of got rinsed out or washed out.
No,
Do they have
not
that
there.
there?
There's
No.
no, not there. I think maybe the end users
The
do
next
that,
step
but
maybe in the
yeah.
process. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, what's crazy to me is it's like it's sorted and it's spinned and like people standing there pulling things out, and it goes through that like 3 times, and there's still so much stuff that's not supposed to be in the big bales at the end. It's like,
Right.
how is that going out as paper when you could see like a plastic bag still in there?
Yeah, yeah,
But they take it, I guess. That's as good as it gets, kind of, and it
yeah.
works.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, if too much is contaminated, they're supposed to refuse the truckload. So
Mhm.
we were lucky, but we actually saw a Trumbull truckload. So
Oh,
he said
that's
it was
right. You
pretty
said
good.
that.
Yeah, they said it was pretty good. So yeah, I was gonna see if maybe we can get that posted to the town website. Um, I don't know if anyone has any other ideas. The first selectman newsletter just came out, and wasn't asked to add anything this month, but I'm thinking moving forward, that's a good way to get information out. If we have a sustainable corner, if anybody wants to send ideas or anything, that I think that could be a great opportunity. Even if we don't, like this month, we could have put out about the cleanup coming up, but again, whatever. Uh, so yeah, any other opportunities? I feel like the people that came to the library events, Courtney, a few of
Yeah.
them mentioned like they don't do social media. So that's always the thought in the back of my head. How do we get to people that don't do
Well,
social media?
I
Right?
like the idea. I was just writing that down about the sustainable corner because that way, we could do like a little blurb about that, and just
Yeah,
in that way, at least they'll get emails about it because they showed up, so they had to have,
right.
saw seen it somewhere. So, um, um,
You mean the library people would get it through the library like email or through the town
town, like
for
the
selectmen? Yeah,
what you were
okay, that's
saying,
what I
yeah,
thought. Yeah,
like if we have anything there, I think
yeah, yeah,
we could. I
yeah, perfect.
have to
Um,
think about that one.
I know. The
We can,
newspaper, it's like, do people even read the newspaper?
I know, right? And I haven't had much luck with some
Oh,
of
the
the Trouble
contact?
Times and stuff sometimes, but
Oh,
I don't know.
oh, that's too bad because
Anyway,
you were the one who did have a good contact, huh? Oh,
yeah, not anymore. I think
huh.
I'm not sure who the person is now, so
Constant turnover too. Oh,
different
another,
subject.
actually, I reached out to the TV station. So that was
Oh,
something I was gonna try to get some information on. And then maybe, I don't know, do you know, Courtney? Oh, you're not at Trumbull High anymore either, but I wonder if the high school has like a TV, or I should ask my son. I don't
you
know.
know what? I'm not sure, but now that you mention the high school, there was somebody who did an article at the library.
Oh,
Um, and so maybe they could do it on Sustainable Trumbull. I could get that
yeah. Huh.
person's information.
Yeah.
They were talking about the
Any
summer reading
ideas, please
program.
share.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll do that. Yeah.
Thanks. Kendra, did you have your hand up or you're good? No?
Yeah, I don't know if you
Oh,
can hear me.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just maybe additional signage at the library. We've had really great um, displays there, but I think some of the people who don't have social media do go to the library, and they might, if there's
Yeah.
better, more or whatever, or changing signage at the collection area or whatever, that might be helpful. Just an idea.
Oh, yeah. Like instead of just what's accepted in those bins, maybe like a flyer of the month kind of thing with information.
Possibly. I don't know, just an idea to throw out there to try and reach people who aren't on social media.
Yeah. Courtney, do you know about, there's that bulletin board like on the
Yep.
wall that's kind of towards the bathrooms, in the
Yep.
front there? Are you allowed to put up flyers there or?
That's the thing. I'm not sure. I will ask.
Okay.
And actually, Diane Morsey, she wrote a cookbook, You Got This. She's New York Times bestselling author. She's coming to the library for a conversation on September the 20th.
Oh,
So,
nice.
that might be a good sort of it'd be nice to be able to promote or information. I can ask and see if
Okay.
perhaps we could get some flyers up or something like that.
Okay, yeah, any cross information sharing would be great. I
Yeah.
probably should get some updated flyers over to the senior center too on
Oh, yeah.
recycling. Um, trying to think where else. Right, we hate to do paper, but we gotta
Actually,
cover.
I know that a lot of people put stuff up on the bulletin board. It's like when you go into the library, it's on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
Right there, but I'm trying to think if there's another spot that might be, but definitely I think we could definitely put something there on that
Okay,
bulletin
do you
board.
want
But
to
I'll
confirm that
but
or?
I'll confirm. Exactly.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
Before.
thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, and then speaking of library, do you want to talk about the Seed Library at all, or anything else
Sure.
going
I
on or
I
ideas, things like that?
Yeah, I don't really have a whole lot to report, but the
Yeah.
Seed Library was launched in early May, and I honestly, so far so good. I haven't heard a lot about it, but it was well received. Initially, and I think so far it's we've been smooth sailing. I'll reach out to the garden club and Pam and see how it's going, and also check in with the library and see if we need any more materials or if we can help in any way. But it's actually been kind of quiet. But I did talk to Stefan in those early stages, and he was saying that it was going great. People were filling out the forms. I think there's a lot of memberships.
Good.
They were getting a lot of people signed up, and there was a lot of seed borrowing, a lot of action. So I think
Oh,
people
good.
well received. So
Yeah,
it's good.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like an example of like not too many, but
Yeah.
a well-staffed group of volunteers to get it off the ground. And I feel
Right.
like it was
Exactly.
successful because of it. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. People who knew kind of what they were doing, but just needed a platform. And I think it made sense to do it. So so that was good. I'll
Yeah.
also check in too to see, because there might be some fall planting or
Oh,
just to um to see if we need to change out anything.
Oh, yeah, great idea. Well, you did a great job getting everyone together,
Oh,
so thank you.
Thank you. I tried.
And
but-
funding it, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Which garden club was that, Courtney?
The Trumbull, the Long Hill Garden Club.
Okay, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Thanks.
And yes. And then as far as events coming up, I don't have anything at the moment. I was thinking maybe we could brainstorm and try to get things going for 2026. Sort of just been kind of out of touch with that at the moment, but it'd be nice. And somebody had mentioned, I think we were talking about how the kids' activities were really well received at the farmers market. So maybe perhaps maybe we could do something like a kids event,
Yeah.
or the same will Trumbull, or maybe something in around fall or in the winter time or something like that to start out.
Sure.
I don't know, just some ideas. We'll have to get brainstormed some ideas.
Yeah. I did a table at the Madison Middle School Health Fair in April, I think it was,
Mhm.
and I did like a 3 sorting station for like transfer station, regular curbside recycling, and recycling drive. And it was like the baseline information was not there of what is recycling drive. First of all, almost nobody knew that we have this recycling drive.
Right.
So
Oh my
I
goodness.
was kind of like, it should have just been like, does this go in your recycling or does it go in your trash? Like, what's basic
Right.
Basic.
recycling
Basic.
stuff? So, and that's for middle
Yeah.
schoolers. But I think, you know, an interactive, maybe age appropriate, which
Yeah.
I guess I'm not overly in touch with, but, you know, just some certain interactive activity could be a fun library event. I would be willing to do that, I think. So.
Yeah, I think so. Like for that age group, I think that would be
Yeah,
great.
for some recycling stuff, since we've done the adult focused one twice, I think now, right?
Right,
Where we've talked about recycling. So I think
right.
it could be fun.
Yeah, I like where this conversation is headed. So that sounds great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
perfect.
good. Me too.
Um,
Looking
Laurie,
at-
just dropping back to the cleanup this weekend. What's the plan? I don't have the times and the locations.
Okay, yeah, yeah, because you did volunteer to help, right?
I did.
If you want. That would be good. So we are just piggybacking with the recycling drive, since there was just a few. April was willing to help with both, but couldn't be in 2 places. So we'll
Okay.
just, I think, use our recycling drive table for. I could bring a second table if we need, but we'll just check in volunteers and they can clean up. I did look along the side of the high school parking lot there, along the woods. I don't know which side of the school that is in terms of a direction, but
North,
all along the parking
south,
lot.
something. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know either.
And that was like 2 weeks ago, right just before school was starting. So I think now that kids have been there even longer, there's probably more that's accumulated. And as you wrap around the back by the band trailer and out the back entrance by the fields, so I think we could keep some people busy. And then if there's large groups, we could that are adult supervised, we could direct over to the park and ride, or you know, other parts of
Park
town.
Street?
Yeah,
Park Street, that one, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Although I
what
know
would you
Pam's
need?
been,
What could I do, for example? What would you
Um,
suspect that I might be helpful?
if you'd like to come and help direct people,
Take
or
a
just
group if need be.
yeah. Oh
Okay.
yeah. If you want to
Okay.
supervise, if parents can't stay, right? If, let's say, a large group is getting dropped off,
Okay.
I'm guessing like maybe 5 kids or something. If you want to offer to supervise at Park Street for an hour or something, if parents want to
Okay.
drop off and pick up or something, that might be helpful.
Okay.
So we don't lose someone at recycling drive during that time.
Sure.
I think we're just going to play it by ear based on the volume, but if we need to, I think there's probably enough relatively on site. I don't want people like little kids obviously walking down the street unsupervised, but that
Yeah.
doesn't, we don't usually get that. We usually get a parent with their kids or older groups of older kids.
So just
Teens.
basically send them out somewhere along the property, the
Yeah.
high school property, and
Yeah.
say, yeah, go clean that up area. And the next one
Yeah.
you send over there and the next one you send over there or whatever like that.
Yeah, exactly. Just I think
Okay.
just being there for an extra set of hands. I mean, you never know with recycling drive how steady or busy that can be at times. So,
Right, right.
I get talking or something. So if somebody needs help getting the Clean Swell app set up, but I'll have the QR code and everything ready to go on a tabletop display so people can just scan it and get going. But
Okay.
I have garbage
And
bags, I
then
think, gloves.
what's the hours of the hours for the cleanup the same as
The,
hours for the,
I put 9 to 12 on our thing, but Save the Sound listed on their website 9 to 11. So
okay,
I'm guessing a combination, but we're there at Recycling Drive 9 to 12. So if someone
okay.
showed up at 11, it's fine. Um, and then, yeah, like I said, we'll have trash bags, right? So if people are bringing back a bag of garbage, we can drive it over to the dumpster or that sort of thing.
The dumpster on at THS or the dumpster at
Yeah,
X-ray?
I think
Yeah,
so. Yeah.
okay. All right.
Um, so yeah, it should be pretty easy. Usually they are, but
Right.
you never know.
Okay. All right. I'll get
Um,
there
thank you.
sometime in the early-ish morning.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Got it.
Um, yeah, that's it. I'm trying to think anything else we want to look at. Well, we have to probably set meetings for next year, but maybe we should circle back after we get a better picture of what we have to offer based
Yeah.
on the town direction and requirements, maybe.
Yeah. What's our next scheduled meeting?
I don't think we have one. I think this was the
Oh, really?
last for
Okay. This is it?
2025, right?
Okay. All right. So we'll figure that out. I have on the agenda also transfer station update.
Yes.
Um, that is what next year that it's supposed to be done or the following
It's
year? It's
it's going in stages. Yeah. I'm not sure I have a clear picture of exactly what's getting done when. They're nearing the end of the paving and utility side of it, as far as I
okay.
understand, but
Okay.
I don't want to commit to anything.
All right. But they're
But it's
hopefully
going to
going to
be a
have
little while.
mattresses. They're hopefully going to have mattress collection, you think, there?
I
Or
think that's a hope. It was
is a hope?
from
Okay.
the feedback from participating towns, everybody had pretty positive feedback. So,
Okay.
um, yeah,
Anything
but
else?
as for like adding that, that's going to be a while out
Yeah.
before things are
And
built up.
composting didn't sound like it was going to happen there, you don't think?
Um, not at this point, no,
Right.
not yet. But it's always I'm always going to try to stay up to date on information of what people are doing, and if it seems like there's something that we might be able to make a go of it. There's a
Okay.
lot of options. Every town's doing something a little differently. So some people, some towns are building their own digester on site. Like Newtown is building a bigger facility than Ridgefield. West Hartford is implementing drop-off bins similar to like the Bay State bins or Big Bellies all across town. They're adding additional drop-offs. And I believe they are funded that from a grant. So, there's options. We're just gonna kind of continue to gather information, and if something seems like everything's gonna line up in terms of funding and what the town envisions, then I guess it'll go forward. I wanted to, speaking of grants, if anyone sees grants for anything, please direct them over because that will be helpful. Like the DEEP grant for sustainable material management projects that closed back in June, I think. And I don't see a new one being posted quite yet, but that's probably not to be expected. Sustainable CT will match grant funds up to $9,000, I believe. And you don't have to be certified, Kevin. We don't
Okay.
have to maintain our status. As long as we're registered with Sustainable CT, which we are,
Which we are. Yeah.
we qualify for the match funding.
Okay.
That's how I understood it. I
Okay.
met with them a couple weeks ago.
Gotcha.
So, yeah,
And then
lots.
the UI, you said that was
Yes.
probably not going to happen. They don't have funding.
I haven't heard anything. I will follow up.
I've read somewhere that they didn't have a lot
Does
of
anyone have
funding.
a big interest in energy savings programming? You guys think that's a hot topic? Would people be interested? I feel like people complain about their bills all the time,
Yeah,
Yeah,
big
yeah, they
including
time.
me
do.
with solar.
Yes.
Okay,
People are wondering why their bill is so high,
yes,
and yet they're operating AC when it's 70 degrees outside, and they have their pool pump and all that. So
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Pool pump's a big one. So is the AC.
Um, okay, so let's see. They had a really cool, I think we talked about a couple of meetings ago. They offered like a free movie to the residents, and the caveat was they had to sit through like a little home energy saving spiel at the beginning of the movie before it aired, before it was screened. But I was like, I don't think that would be cool. I was envisioning that for the summer in the dead of heat, people could sit in the air conditioning for their movie and learn about how to save money on their air conditioning.
On their air conditioning, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, just so many things going. It slipped through the cracks, but I'll follow
Right.
up with that. So maybe it's something that they could come to the library, Courtney. It could be
Yeah.
something, a 2026 library event.
Yep.
We did one a couple years ago. Wasn't the most highly attended, but that was before we had Ellen creating the Facebook events, which seemed to really boost our attendance at everything once she started
Right.
making a Facebook event and then sharing that to groups, which she's
Right.
going to do for the cleanup, I think, as well.
Yeah, and it's such a hot topic right now, I guess, on for our town, especially.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, we
Sure.
can connect outside of the meeting, Courtney, for events
Sounds-
and things.
Yeah,
So,
sounds great.
yeah.
Okay.
Good work.
Great. I think that's all I have. Other than the couple of logistics, which I guess we might just get told what is the best thing to do. I know IT has weighed in, but we might try to streamline the Sustainable Trumbull email to the town email. Because I think I was one of the only volunteers that was manning that, and then just to kind of keep consistency with messaging and making sure messages don't slip through the cracks. But I don't know if anybody feels strongly about not having access to an email. Yeah. Okay. It's just a lot of emails to oversee. So, I'm not sure that that will how that will move forward, but
All right.
to be continued. All right. I think
Sure.
that's all I have.
All right.
Under 1
And
hour. Janet said it's usually 2. I thought that
yeah,
was that was a long time ago,
that's
Kevin,
right.
when we had
Yeah.
2-hour meetings. And
Well, we had a lot more people on that screen too,
yes, we did.
didn't we?
Which I would welcome more faces. So yeah, ask around, spread the word if people want to help with things.
Yeah, it's
I
good to give
always
them
feel like
specific
it's
things, too, right? It's good to give them say, oh, we're going to do the invasive species, or we're going to do the food rescue, we're going to do the kinetic cleanup. If you get them something specific, right?
right.
We should get a
I know.
volunteer form, right? We should get a volunteer form that says, "Are you interested in?" You probably have one or you did one at some point, but
Oh no,
if
that's
you're
a great
interested,
idea,
check this,
Kevin.
check
Uh,
that, check that. All the different things that we do.
Oh, that's a great idea.
But then you're going to have to manage
Tally
more
the
people.
results and contact people.
I
No,
got
I
90
mean,
people here, right?
I think that would be a good thing. Yeah. I just feel like it's hard to get official approval for things. So then it's like you want help, but you're not sure what's going forward. So,
Yeah.
right.
Oh, so when were you going to meet with Vicky and whoever on the? Did you have a
But
date yet?
I don't have a date, no.
Okay.
They said a few weeks, they'll circle
Okay.
back. So
Okay.
I know it's going to be a hard time of year to get meetings with the being an
Mhm.
election year. So
There we go. Yeah. Well, that's all I have. Is there
me
anybody else?
too. Anyone else?
Good to see y'all.
Yeah, thanks guys for coming. And
Congratulations
we'll
again, Mark.
oh,
Yeah.
thanks so much, Courtney. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll look forward to staying in touch with you guys or seeing you Saturday, Kevin, maybe.
Yep, sounds good.
All right. Thanks for joining,
Thanks.
Kendra.
See ya
See you guys.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thanks, Paul.
Thank you.